Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. So I'm very happy to share this video because this is something that I wanted to share with you guys from a really long time, because a lot of people wanted to know how the mountain soil tends to look like. So we have it right over here directly from the mountains. Now I carried it along with me in flight. I had put this soil in a bag and it was inside the cargo. I was not quite sure if they would let me take this soil, but it was in a very small quantity. I was all ready that in case if they ask me to throw it off, I will throw it off, but the chance worked out and I was able to get the soil along with me. So this is how the mountain soil looks like. This is what the actual soil looks like. It's very gritty. As you can see, it has a lot of larger granules of small rocks, and this is pretty much how the soil tends to look like. There is no coco peat, there is no compost, there is nothing organic in this soil, but it does have a little bit of dust along with this, but that's absolutely fine. You can see how beautiful this soil is, and I'm sure my succulents are going to love it. What I'm going to do is, in case if this thing works out really well, I am going to get some more soil. But right now this is how the soil tends to look like. I will put the picture how it looked when I took the picture in the location where I found this. The moment I happened to see this soil, I was like, I need to carry this soil along with me. I wanted to show you guys as well, and in fact I wanted to grow my succulents in this soil and see how it tends to work. So for this experiment, I am just going to use only the mountain soil. I'm not going to add any sand. I'm not going to add any of the garden soil. I will only use this soil and see if the succulent tends to love and if the succulent tends to thrive in this type of soil. But I'm pretty excited. I just wanted to show you guys how this soil tends to look like. So now I will go ahead and get a succulent that needs to be done a repotting. And for that I have my succulent called as Echeveria noble, and that's the succulent that I'm going to use for potting in this mountain soil. So this is going to be raw mountain soil. I'm not going to wash it, I'm not going to filter it, I'm directly going to use the succulent in this soil. So this is my Echeveria noble. It tends to get even more stressed. Right now it is not very stressed. It has very slight red color, but in fact it tends to turn completely red, and I think this is a perfect specimen for this experiment, because this succulent is going to turn completely red and it's going to be in this reddish brown soil. So I'm thinking that this arrangement is going to look absolutely beautiful. So let me take out a little bit of the mountain soil. As you can see, it's completely pure mountain soil. There is nothing added. Definitely I'm not going to add any coco peat, compost, vermicompost, bone meal. I'm not going to add anything. It's just going to be raw mountain soil which is not even washed. Now let me quickly uproot this succulent. As you all know, whenever I tend to uproot my succulents, I always tend to clean up all the dry leaves and I take out all of the soil from the roots. I take out all of the dried leaves, and at the same time I also check if there is any infestation of bugs or any kind of insects. Now you can see it's completely clean, and I think a lot of you can relate, especially people who grow succulents. If you do not see any kind of insects or bugs, and if the succulent is completely clean, it's a sign of relief. Now I'm extremely happy that there were no mealy bugs, there was no fungus, there was no mold, even though there was a lot of dry leaves, and I'm extremely happy and relieved that there is nothing. Now there is a pup. I will go ahead and separate the pup because it has reached a decent size, and what I could see is that this pup was getting congested in the pot. So I've gone ahead and separated the small tiny pup. As you can see, it was slightly congested. The leaves have not grown properly because probably it was getting pushed against the edge of the pot. But so I thought I'm going to separate it. It's already reached a decent size, so I'm just going to let it callus and then I'm going to add it to the soil. So now I'm going to start putting in the succulent into the soil, and this is how my previous soil was. You can see it's still very loose, very porous. It is well draining, and you can see how loose it is even though the succulent was in this for a really long time. So what I'm going to do is let me quickly compare both of the soil, that is the mountain soil and the soil that I have been using. This was my own succulent potting mix, which I had tried to replicate exactly how the mountain soil tends to look like. Now definitely I cannot replicate exactly the same, but you can see it's pretty much the same. It's loose, porous, and it's well draining, and there is a lot of granules. It's very gritty. So I'm not going to, as I said, I'm not going to mix anything in this potting mix. So I'm just going to keep my potting mix aside, and I'm only going to use the mountain soil in this particular pot. So now I'm completely done. The succulent is going to be slightly unstable because it has just been repotted. I'll do a quick blow off the dust from the succulent pot and the succulent, and we are all done. So guys, this is how the succulent is. I will give you an update after probably 3 or 4 months how the succulent is doing. So guys, I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep propagating.